Must keep record. All right. Very good. So on the coin market cap, it's what is 64. Right? On the coin market cap, it's what is 64. So it's important for you to know that we are closer than ever before. We are closer than what than never before. So cheers up. Now let's go. Let's look at let's go to coin market cap. I say coin market cap. Let's use Chrome. Now, for the sake of you, my fellow brother, my fellow sister who also want to know what you mean by FOMC. What is FOMC? So mind the ChatGPT is also there, but then let's do this FOMC. So let's go. All right. So the Federal Open Market Committee. So the full meaning of FOMC, that is Federal Open Market Committee, is the monetary policy making body of the Federal Reserve, responsible for setting the US targets for the federal funds. Let me click on show more so that you can see more. For the federal funds rate to influence the money supply, credit, employment, and then also prices. It is the primary decision-making group for monetary policy, utilizing open market operations, buying and selling government securities. Now, this meeting is held 4 times within every 8 years. Okay, 4 times within every 8 years, if I'm right. I'm sure, if I'm not forgotten. 4 times within every 8 years. Every 8 years, it is held 4 times. And now, it's the last part of it is going to be held, that is this particular year, 16th of September 2025. And whatever be the outcome, the market will either flourish or it will crash. That is the deal. Whatever may be the outcome, if it's positive, the market may flourish. If it's negative, the market may. If it is, listen, when it comes to crypto, Bitcoin in particular, and in cryptocurrency, if it's happening that it is positive, crypto markets, the bull will begin to take effect. Very, very serious. When it happens that that meeting happens to be negative, crypto would crash. That is it. So buckle up, buckle your shoes, brace up. Let's anticipate what happens, right? Let's do what? Anticipate what happens. Yes, let's anticipate what happens. We are here, all arms crossed, observing what is going to happen. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the market. Let's get back to our official discussion for this evening and proceed with what we have to share. Now, the interesting part of this market is that over here, our mission is to just understand the market. Our mission is to understand the market, and after understanding the market, either in good times or in bad times, trader must exist. Traders, we don't run away. We always exist in the market. We are there. So market goes, market comes, but we would always exist as traders. And as far as traders are concerned, it is our best responsibility to understand the market, right? So that is the reason why we said this session is what is an advanced. So we advance our scope and knowledge in the trading market. Now, basically, every market follows 3 cycles. Basically, every market, as we all know, every market follows 3 cycles. That is, either it's a bull cycle or a bullish cycle, cycle, or consolidation. Okay, a consolidation state. So this is the present state of the market. The market is battling for bullish. So whatever you are seeing, even if you see BS are not actually in real time, but BS are not in control of the market. Bulls are in control of this market in real time. So wherever you see all these bears happening, all these happens to be pullbacks, they are not real bears. The real bear will appear in the market, and I will let you know when that one is going to happen. Right? So you don't need to give up. You don't need to give up so soon. Now, besides, either it is going to be bull, it is going to be bear, or whatever. We are well prepared for that, and we are here for the market. The market is always here. It's never running away. And it's our responsibility to learn and understand the nature of the market. After we understanding the market, we would always love the market. That is the fact. Now, at a point in time, you may realize that things may be slow for you. Yeah, it is part of the journey. It is part of the journey. Giving up shouldn't be an option. And basically, that's what I've been saying. If you're a trader and you understand the market, whatever happens to you seems to be an illusion of what? Of perspective. So, in one of my common terms, what I've been saying is that chaotic. Okay? Chaotic. Mind you, we are learning how to trade. So, that's by the way. Chaotic is an illusion of perspective. Chaotic is an illusion of perspective. Very good place. But the fact is that where you are going, you may face different challenges before you get to the exact destination. The road is still under what? Construction. The road is still under what? Under construction. So once you are embarking on your journey in life, even in life, listen, once you are embarking on your journey, one thing that you need to understand is that chaos is an illusion of what? Of perspective. Now, do you think if most people are going to a particular destination and they can see the clear path of their destination, do you think they'll feel so tired and get back? Never, because they can see the journey and they understand the journey and they exactly know where they are going. But because sometimes we can't easily see, and the journey sometimes becomes so rough and tough, we feel that as what? As chaos. And when it happens, it deceives us from seeing our destination. That is the reason why we say, or the wise man says, chaos is an illusion of perspective. Chaos is what? Is an illusion of perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, the market is neither our friend nor our enemy. And like I've been saying all the time, when we keep on learning, when we continue to learn and understand the market, look, you become a hero. Because nothing about market really scares. Nothing should scare you as a trader. Is it liquidation? No. Because you are more than what? A winner in the market. You will win. Oh, friends, we will win. You will win and the market will get tired of you. Because now all what you are born to do is to win in the market. This time around, just look at the confusion and keep moving, keep learning, keep growing. You make the money. You make the money. Making money in the crypto market is not a stressful thing. It's just a matter of time. Right? It's just what? A matter of time. Now let's proceed to our mission today. Let's proceed with our mission. If this message find you so interesting and you are touched, give me one in the chat. Let me see if this message got your heart and you are touched. Give me one in the chat. Give me one. Give me one. Very good. Very good. That is awesome. Good. All right. So, guys, let's proceed. Now, permit me to talk about two forms of trading here, both the spot and then the futures market this cycle. especially whilst we are experiencing or anticipating a better ways of what of boost in the market any moment, or whilst we are anticipating a good cycle. Now, what every trader would expect is, should I trade on the spot market or should I trade on the futures market? Should I trade on the spot market or should I trade on the futures market? Now, I will advise you, this is the best time to trade on the spot market. This is the best time to trade on the spot market. If you are feeling the heat of getting liquidated, trade on the spot market. Sometimes the only problem with most of us, or the only problem with most of you, is that greed does not permit you to stay focused or to remain focused in your journey. Greed does not permit you to remain focused in your journey. But trust me, this is the best time to trade on the spot market. Now, mind you, in beer we don't give much focus to sports. Let me tell you, in beer cycle, we don't give much focus to sports. In beer cycle, where the market find it so difficult, even if it's a pump, it can't do those X that it will be performing. But if the market is to dump, it's continue to dump and dump and dump for traders to even feel the heat of running away from the entire market. That is the kind of market we are talking about, right? That is the reason why I can boldly tell you, if you are waiting, thinking that you may trade on the spot market at different time and not this time, that one is also an illusion. It's a deception. To ignore the spot market at this time would be a deception, because this is the only best time you can trade on the spot market. Right? This is the only best time you can trade on the spot market. Now, during beer season, if it happens, we will trade on the spot market. There is a new strategy that we've implemented, or we are bringing on board, that trading on the spot market would be also profitable, but not on the same strategy that we know. And we are going to change the strategy. But if you want to still stick to a good strategy this time round, trading on the spot market will still be a good decision, so that you can stay or reduce the risk of what of getting liquidated. Why? Because this time round, now money is flowing in most of these utility tokens, because it is all season. The time is due, right? Because the time is due and money is flowing, and this is the best time you decide to put most of your trade utility tokens on cycle to earn on them, whilst you have a less of your trade in futures. So I'm surprised some of you stop trading sports. You stop trading sports because of futures, right? It's because you don't understand what the sports can offer you. And get those utility tokens, as we talk about in the morning. Those who joined the technical analysis session this morning, we talk about that. Get some of these utility tokens, not just every coin. Listen, not just every coin, but some of these chain coins, some of these utility tokens, because money is now flowing in those tokens or those coins. So look at SEAL. I don't know some of those who have been trading SEAL for the past 72, that is 48 hours. I think either 72 or 48 hours. SEAL is doing tremendously good, amazingly good. And do you think those trading on the spot?
SEAL and Dodge.
Hello. I need to answer this call. I need to answer this call. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I guess I'm out. Am I out or?
We can hear you.
All right. All right. Okay, let's proceed. Let's proceed. Good. So you see, this is the best time for you to work or stick to the spot market in addition to your futures. So this time around, if you trade on the futures, let me show you this. If you trade on the futures, divide your capital into 2 or 3. Divide your capital into 2 or 3. The last time, those who joined one of our advanced sessions on future trading, I advised you on a lot of things to do. And today, I'm amplifying the same lesson again. So, to trade, this is what you have to do. If you want to trade on both the spots and then futures at the same time, it's very easy. Now, divide your capital into 2 or 3. So, 2/3 should be the spot market, and then also 1/3 should be on the on the futures market. Because listen, this time round, money is flowing, liquidity is coming in the market, right? If you mess up, you liquidate all the money on the futures market, and you wouldn't get any money to invest in actual trading again. That is a fact. So don't be too greedy in chasing money. Some of you, that is your problem. You are chasing money. Take your time. Take your time, my dear. Take your time. Take your time. So just let that money flow on the spot market, though it may be slow. Yes, because the fact is, even in bull season, there are always pump and dump schemes. Because, mind you, the whales, the institutional traders, the smart traders, they wouldn't shut up in the market because the market belongs to them anyway. They have to eat. So, no matter how green the market becomes, it will still be red. That is what you need to know. No matter how green the market becomes, it will still be red. Now, the secret is that, listen, if it happens that this FOMC happens, okay, if it happens that this FOMC happens to be so positive and then the market becomes bullish, this is what I'm advising you to do. If it happens that the market becomes so bullish after this FOMC news, now, don't rush. Don't prolong your take profits. Listen, don't prolong your take profits. Don't let greed kill you in the market. You'll be the last person to exit the market. Learn to exit on time. Your exit time really matters a lot. Your exit time really matters a lot. And mind you, some may say by 2026 the market will still be this, by 2026 the market will still be this. Look, if it happens that the market pump and even if it's just 2 weeks or 3 weeks that the market can do 10x, 20x, okay, cash out and just use the rest of your money. I'm talking to someone with huge capital. Listen to me. Use the rest of the money to buy some utility tokens or just rest. Get some of the money, trade on futures and relax. Wait for the next wave. Look, I said after this FOMC, if it happens it's positive, either we like it or not, bulls will appear in the market. Either we like it or not, bulls will appear in the market. Yeah. Now, the next thing is that trading on the spot market is still profitable. Listen, trading on the spot market this season is still what? It's still profitable. Just that your problem is you are comparing the futures market to the spot market. You are comparing the futures market to the spot market, and that will be your greatest mistake that you will ever do, to compare the futures market to the spot market. So yes, of course, you all know that the profit on the futures market is very bombastic. Eh? One profit, and all of a sudden you can buy a plot of land. One profit, and you can buy human being. One profit, and you begin to ask for the price of the earth. One profit, then you are asking of humanitarian services. One profit, you feel on top of the world. But the same thing, quarter loss, and you are the poorest person in the world. Quarter loss, and you are the poorest person in the world. Hey. The same person with one profit who wanted the earth. Quarter loss, and he is the poorest person in the world. Hey, what's happening? Oga don't vanish. Oga don't vanish. Silent mode activated. Boom. He's nowhere to be found. He's gone. Long time, he's gone. But you know what? Maybe you might not be doing something right. You might not be doing something right. Right? So, my advice, and as we end this lesson, is do not neglect the spot market. If you have funds, trade both markets. If you have funds, trade both markets, because if you are waiting for another cycle to trade on the spot market, you might miss the opportunity here. You might miss opportunity, but that does not mean that. But that does not mean that the futures market isn't profitable. Now, the history of liquidation. Let me get back to the market. The history of liquidation happens, but do you know, liquidation happens to people who want to be making money every day. That is the first thing. Liquidation happens to people. It becomes their friend. Not that liquidation don't happen to everyone. Listen, not that liquidation don't happen to everyone, but liquidation happens to people who always want to make money. They see trading as one of the return on investment platforms where every day you must make profits. If they don't see profits, they don't feel okay. No, that is not your job. That is not the reason why you are here as a trader. And every good trader understands these key concepts. Right? Every good trader understands this key concept that your responsibility is not to be making money every day, but your responsibility is to win more trade. To win more trade. At least if you can be winning more, it will build your confidence in the market. But your problem is you don't focus on winning, you focus on money. So anyhow you manage to make money in a day. And sometimes not just making the money, but how you can make huge profits in a day is your problem now. It's your headache. Now, there is one key concept that most of you are lacking in your trading journey, and that is what is bringing liquidation in your as your friend. Most of you now, liquidation is your friend. Liquidation is your friend because you have neglected the word compounding in your dictionary, and we are bringing this strategy again. How to compound your income on the futures market. I've taught this over time, and most of my mentees are practicing this. Compounding your income. Now, most of you, compounding money is no longer in your dream. You are not here to compound your money. You are here to become a billionaire in a day. That is some of you, your headache now. You are here to become a billionaire in a day. And that is the reason why your account is empty. Yes, because you are not willing to compound the money. You know, if someone is compounding money, today the person make $5, the next day he has range. It wouldn't be too much. Maybe $7, maybe $9, maybe $10, then you go your way. Now you want to turn into a billionaire today. No longer compounding. So the energy of 1 year project is no longer in your mind. It's 3 days. You want to find ways and means to raise your activation capital within a day. Yeah, it's fine. But mind you, the fact is that you become a billionaire when you have the appetite to lose billions or millions. Okay? Someone said, I became a billionaire because I was able to lose millions of dollars. And by adding my losses, I added up to become a billionaire. So if you want to be a billionaire, then be ready that in a day, the losses that you can incur in a day would be so great enough to record you as a billionaire in the future. But mind you, you cannot just jump to the top. Some of you, that is your problem. I just sit beside my phone, beside my device, and I read some messages and I laugh. I said, oh, you have a long way to go. You have a long way to go. Yes, I just look at some of the messages, then I just whisper in my mind, this person, you have a very long way to go. Yeah. Because you want to make all your dream come true just to happen within just a short period of time, which is impossible. Okay, it can happen in a day when it has been able to time. That dream can be possible when it has been able to pound over time, and that is need to know, right? So take your time, compound your money. Take your time, compound your money. The next thing, take your time, do what? Compound your money. Don't blow your account. Don't blow your account. And some of you, that is your problem. Don't blow your account. Yes, I know. On the journey of becoming, a lot of things happens because you fail from your failures. But sometimes too expensive. Sometimes too expensive. When you have leaders who can take you to the journey, and yet you still want to bypass your own way because the journey of poverty is on your neck and you want to remove it in a day. You can't do that. You can't do that. Now, the idea of cross and isolated is also killing a lot of people. The idea of cross and isolated is killing a lot of people. The idea of cross and isolated is killing a lot of people. Now, in trading, when it comes to trading, I've always been saying, don't do it because someone also did it. You see, some of you, your problem is follow. Follow. This thing, it really kills. This follow thing, it really kills a lot. Now, there was this man who was traveling from Ghana to Canada. I don't know how to speak English. You don't know how to speak English. So you just have to listen to what people will say, then you also repeat the same thing. You have to listen to what people will say, then you also say the same thing. Since most of those in the team were speaking more of English. Now it was time to share food, and the person beside him said it's okay. And because he also never knew it's okay, never understand what the meaning of it's okay, he also repeated it. It's okay. Now, at the later part, this person was hungry and he went to the person sharing the food. Now asked, please, can you give me some of the it's okay for me to eat? He said, what is it's okay? That is the spirit of what follow. He didn't know what to do. Instead of him to ask the meaning of it's okay, he also went ahead to say it's okay. And that is the exact thing that most of you are doing here. just it's okay, and you will remain. You say you will starve yourself at night because of just one word you said it's okay, because you didn't know the meaning of it's okay. Hmm? You don't know the meaning of what of it's okay, and that is what is going to starve you. So some of you, you see, your accounts are empty because you, instead of you to do the right thing, you follow someone because that person, okay, hey, let me also try. Then all of a sudden your account is empty. Today, some of you, most of you, now your account is empty because you just decided to try what someone screenshot because that person made $1,000, because that person made $500, because that person made $100, and you are making only $3 a day. So you are not satisfied. So you intend to follow the person. And today your account is empty. How do you explain that to your friend? You go explain tire, no evidence. You go explain tire, no evidence. My brother, you explain tire, no evidence. Yes, that is when you do follow. That is the result. You explain tire, no evidence. You see, and that is it. Now, instead of you to follow that friend, because my friend said this, I'm also doing the same thing. No. No. Stop doing follow, and you will save yourself. You will save yourself. Stop doing follow, and you do what? You will save yourself. Period. On the futures market, listen, either cross or isolated. Cross or isolated. Someone told you that, oh, the cross is good because it told me I was about to be liquidated, and if it's not because of cross, I would have been dead. My brother, all capital is just $100. All your capital is just $100. Because your friend told you it is cross is good, and that person is having $1,000. That person is having $1,000. Yours is $100.
Without BM.
Hey, am I back? Am I back?
Okay,
Who is
you are
pushing
back.
my
Yes,
network
you are
away?
back.
Who is doing that? Am I back?
You are back. Thank you.
You're
I
back. We can hear you.
guess there is someone behind this. All right. Okay. So please make me a co so that we can proceed. All right. Thank you. Okay. See, some of you, because I'm telling you the truth, you are just pressing the neck of my network so that I can get out of the meeting. Hey, hey, hey. You're pressing the neck of my network so that I can get out of the meeting. Hey, I've seen all of you. Eh? All right. That's just by the way. Okay. So let me share my screen. One, it should be subjected to a personal decision based on your fan decision.
He's out again. Please exercise patience. He will soon be back. Like what our leaders is sharing is actually the truth. You know, we have to. We just have to have a. I can call him a word of the elders, would have been in the profession for a long time. So you need such advice, you know, to navigate this kind of waters. And then let us learn from experience so that we will not suffer what those ahead of us have suffered. You understand? So experience, you cannot actually, it's either you learn from your own experience or learn from other people's experience. If we can do that, we will we have a very good trading journey. Let us just wait for him a bit before he will soon be back. Then if you have any question, you can ask so that you can answer. Michael Agyako says, can we use the same account to trade on both spot and futures? Yes, you can use the same account to trade on both spot and futures. You can even do that on all the 9 exchanges on React. You can bind them and use them. You can use same account to trade on spot and futures.
All right. Oh, Charlie.
You're welcome back.
All right. Thank you. Anyway, sorry guys, because the network is quite disturbing, but still we move. Let's proceed. Okay, so my screen is shared. All right. So I was talking about cross margin and then isolated margin. Cross margin and then isolated margin. Now, what I'm saying is simple. The decision of putting your trade on cross or isolated should be a personal decision. Okay, should be a personal decision based on your capital. Should be a personal decision based on your capital. Now you should know that if it happens, the rule number 1 is make sure. Rule number 1, make sure you don't have all your funds in your futures account. That is the first thing that you have to do. Especially, listen, especially if you are on cross margin. Now, mind you, if you put all your funds in the futures account and you open a trade on cross margin, when you get liquidated, all the money will go out and your account will be negative 0.00. Not even 0.00, negative 0.00. Yeah. And you can't do anything. So the decision of putting your trade on cross is fine because cross is going to help you sustain the trade in the market for a quiet time, unlike isolated. Yeah, we know. But did you think about it the other way around too? So it's either if you decide to put a trade on cross, let it be on cross whilst you set off the remaining funds away. Or if not, place it on isolated. Have all your funds in your futures account. Let it keep trading. Have your trade on isolated. Have your peace of mind. Because at the end of the day, if it happens that on isolated, you are going to be liquidated, you won't be liquidated with all your capital, but just part of the funds that are in the position. Part of the funds that are in the position. That is what is going to be liquidated. So it is important for you to understand the difference between the cross and then what isolated. Before you even make that attempt of placing a trade, always check and know, did I place the trade on cross or isolated? If you think cross is too expensive for you to lose your money, come to isolated. Isolated is not bad, it's good enough. And at the end of the day, you have nothing to lose much, even if part of your money goes and not all. What about cross? In the case where all the money goes, how do you answer that? So, rule number one, do not place all your money in the futures accounts. Rule number two, consider if either you place your trade on cross or isolated. If you think it's too expensive for you to lose all the money, mind you, the next thing about cross margin is that even if you have 5 different trades in the market and liquidation triggers, all the 5 trades will be liquidated. Hope you know. Even if you have 5 different trades in the market and all the 5, one trade triggered for liquidation, all the trades will be liquidated. Now, the next thing is that the last time, if not that, and I've been doing that most often to most of my downlines. I was there when one lady called me, said, "Brother Emmanuel, I'm going to be liquidated. I've seen liquidation message. What do I do?" You see, that's message that really pumps your heartbeat to another level, and you realize that your beat is around 1064. You see that message? When that's your margin ratio has gotten to 80% and you are being warned to take care before you be liquidated. So in that case, what you could do to save yourself is 2 things. Either you add funds to your trade, or for you to be at the safer side, close that particular trade that is trigger for liquidation and let the remaining trade be in the market on the cross margin. Because as it stands, maybe you have 5 different trades in the market and all these 5 trades are on cross margin. The day one out of the 5 will be triggered for liquidation, all the 4 trades in addition to the one making 5, all the 5 trades will be liquidated. If you understand what I'm saying, give me 1 in the chat. Let me know if you understand what I'm talking about. If you understand what I'm talking about, give me 1 in the chat. Give me 1. Give me 1. Give me 1. Let me know. Someone saying 2. So 2 means you don't understand. All right. Very good. What we are saying is simple. What we are saying is simple. We have cross, we have isolated. I've explained to you already. Now, what constitutes triggering for liquidation on the cross margin? Now, on cross margin, the reason why all trades get liquidated is simple, because I mostly term it as energy, okay? Energy is shared among all the trade as equal energy. So if you have $1,000 that you are using to trade, you have your trade on cross, you have 5 trades in the market. The trade is shared, or the capital is shared among all the 5 trades to trade, which simply means one capital does not own itself, but is shared among all the 5 trades in the market. That is the reason why when liquidation triggers, listen, before liquidation will trigger on cross margin, it simply means that one trade has lost its energy in the market or lost funds. There are no more funds to trade that particular asset, right? Now, if there are no more funds to trade, let's assume you have another trade in the market, second trade. So it wouldn't only have that effect on itself, but the effect would impact on the next trade, which simply means when liquidation is to trigger, it will trigger both 1 and then 2 at the same time. So liquidation wouldn't happen on only one trade, but all the 2 trades in the market will be liquidated. That is for cross margin. So in the case of cross margin, this is if you are already on cross margin. Listen, I know most of you love cross margin, just like myself. You are already on cross margin. If you realize that liquidation is about to be triggered, maybe you've received a message in your email that your trade is about to be triggered for liquidation because your margin maintenance or your margin ratio is equivalent to or equal to 80% and it's less than that and you are about to be liquidated. What do? What I'm saying is close the trade, close that particular trade that is going to be liquidated. If you refuse to close that one trade, all the 4 trades in the market will be liquidated at the spot. All the 4 trades will be liquidated at the spot. So it is more sensible to close just that one trade, even if no matter the amount of money that it's holding, because at the end of the day, even if it's holding $1,000 and the rest of the trades are $2, when this $1,000 trade is to be liquidated, all the $2 will be wiped away. So it is better for you to wipe for this $1,000 to go off than for the $2, which is just the pieces to also go off. Do you get it? So in this case, if you have cross margin, and most of my darling, they will tell you, if you are on cross and it happens that liquidation triggers, especially those disobedient sons and daughters who like overtrading. If you overtrade and liquidation triggers, I will tell you, Massa, just close one. Close that particular trade that is getting liquidated. Close it and have your peace of mind. Closing it wouldn't cause a dime than to lose all your funds. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? If you understand that, give me one in the chat. If you understand that, give me one in the chat. If you understand that, give me one in the chat. Someone is saying A. Yeah, so that's why I never tried cross margin. Show us the robots where it indicates the cross and isolated. What I have found out after the warning of upcoming liquidation or email, it takes less than a full minute for real liquidations to hit. Yes, sometimes. Yes, sometimes, but not always the case. The fact is sometimes you may receive your margin ratio may hit 80% and it will still get back. It's not always the case that your margin, you receive that message and the minute you get liquidated. Yeah. Now, that is the reason why, listen, that is the reason why I'm saying that if you know yourself, you know your capital, and you know the worth of your capital, that is when you can make the decision of going on cross or isolated. So in the case of isolated, in the case of what? Of isolated, listen and learn, listen. In the case of isolated, if you have these 5 trades in the market, now should liquidation triggers, only one trade that will be what will be liquidated. That is it. Only one trade that will be what will be liquidated. The rest of the 5 trades will be in the market. You have your peace of mind. Let one go, sustain the rest of the trade, make profit to recover. Simple. Right? Let that one trade go, sustain the rest, make profit to recover. It's simple. Right? Very good. So if you decide to choose isolated, understand that you are on isolated. If you decide to choose cross, understand that you chose cross for yourself. Now, this cross and isolated thing is not on royal kill. Listen, It's not on royal kill, and it is in your exchange that you can observe that to make decision to change it to either cross or isolated. And you've done series of videos and lessons on this, how to change your trade from cross to isolated all the time. Right. Very good. Now, the last thing that I would like to talk about before, maybe I'll take few questions. The last thing that I would like to talk about before I take few questions is the issue of what? Of stop loss. The last thing that I would like to talk about is the issue of stop loss. Stop loss. Is the issue of what? Of stop loss. Now, of late, you see, because people get excess liquidated, they become so desperate that the next question that you see is, why is Royal Kill not having stop loss? Why is stop loss in Royal Kill? Press my neck. Press my neck. Press my neck. Eh? That would be the next question. And Royal Kill, this boat has been there, and they don't want to do stop loss. And stop loss does not exist in Royal Kill. You'll be doing chebe. Molefe. You'll be doing like this from morning to evening because of one single liquidation. Because of one liquidation. You see, the thing about the stop loss, that they are not telling you. Just it's good to manage risk. And in my trading journey, one of the topics that I love discussing is what is risk management. Risk management. Risk management is important, right? But
Network is dealing with our brother. Let's just wait for him again, please. I think it's making a whole lot of sense. It's making a whole lot of sense. Let us learn from experience. Experience is the best teacher. Let's wait for him, please.
All right. Am I back? Am I back? Okay, so guys, I guess let me take your questions instead. Let me take your questions. The network is quite disturbing and it's getting late. Let me take your questions. So let me take your questions. So please ask your questions instead so that I can answer them because the network is not helping at all and it's getting late. So if God permit, tomorrow is Friday and we may have the Q&A session. Tomorrow is Friday and we may have the Q&A session. So I think I'll address more lessons and also we will do more there. So let me use this opportunity to answer some of your questions before we leave. So please, when can we have the new strategy that you've talked about? Yeah, exercise patience. It will get here. It will get here. All right. So guys, let me know if you have a question. Okay. So why is it that when the boat buys margin calls, while in cross, the liquidation price is pushed closer, and while the liquidation remain the same when one changes from cross to isolated? Because I observed that with cross, the liquidation is higher. Please educate us on that. All right. Now, on the issue of liquidation price pushing further or higher, I think I've seen a lot of people talking about that. And one thing about the cross margin is if you have funds on cross margin or if you have position in cross margin, what actually favors the trader is one, the margin calls, and then secondly, the fund that you have in the account, because on cross margin, the funds become open to all the trade, right? It becomes open, so it doesn't make your margin call to be more effective as compared to the fund that you have in the account. So in cross margin, one thing about cross margin is if either you open margin calls or not, so far as you have more funds there, it will buy. But what makes it so interesting is that if you open the margin calls, the difference here is the sub sell that you'll be able. If you have the trade on real time, sub-in mode, real time settle, it may not be more effective or it may not be very effective as compared to other strategies. But then I believe on the isolated margin, it is not so. On the isolated margin, it is not so. So far, that is the experience or something that I've personally observed and see. If you want to reduce this, what I can say is first get more funds in your account, especially when you are using cross margin. Get more funds. When you open the margin call, the intention of opening the margin calls is for you to be able to earn from the sub cells. That should be the first case or the first phase. So the intention of opening the margin calls is for you to be able to earn from the sub cells as it buys more while the market goes against you, right? So in the case of opening more margin calls, you'll be able to earn from the sub cells as the market goes against you, it buys more. Which simply means if you have more funds in your exchange, at that moment, you will be able to sustain your trade in the market. But if not, it wouldn't take any effect in your trade. Yeah. Okay. So, and the stop loss. Yes, now stop loss is 50-50. The issue of stop loss is that if you want to trade like a normal trader, stop loss will always beat you up. Now, this is the ideology. As part of I don't know, am I sharing my screen? As part of risk management, using stop loss is a way, personally, I call it a way of preventing you from making your profits. Because over here, you set up a trade. Why did you use $100 in the first place? You use $100 because, listen, you use $100 in your trade because you want to use $100 to make what? to make profits. So in the case of stop loss, you've designed the trade such that I don't want to make profits on all the $100 again. But if it happened that the trade that I've set is going against me and the market goes against me to maybe $20, and so I'm not winning, the trade should be closed automatic. That is the stop loss, right? So in an actual sense, you also came in the trade with your $100 to ensure that you may go home with something. That is the reason why smart traders do not use this what you call stop loss, right? That is the reason why smart traders do not use what is called stop loss, because stop loss, another name for stop loss is liquidity. Another name for stop loss is what? Is liquidity. So that funds is always meant, or that area is always meant for you to add that particular money or your capital to the markets. So when you are setting up a stop loss, don't think about profits. That is the idea. All right, I will explain further. I will take time to explain further, maybe in another session when we discuss more about smart money concepts, and then also how liquidity is being drained in the markets. Now, can one get liquidated from both hedge positions? Yes, yes, you can be liquidated. Now, that liquidation on hedging a trade would happen on one condition. Hedging a trade, when you get liquidated on hedging a trade, that simply means one, let me see, one, the coin follows what you call market manipulation. Okay, the coin follows what you call market manipulation. So when a coin is manipulated, when a coin is manipulated, it can do something like this. So both this angle and then this angle, your long position and your short position will be wiped off. That simply means market is what? Market is following manipulations. So both structures will be wiped out automatic. Yeah. But if not, hedging a trade always is subjected to one part of the market maybe being liquidated and then winning the other part, because when the part of the market is going against you, it's either supply is in control or demand is in control, or the market is in an equilibrium state. So it only happens that you hedge a trade and all the two positions will get liquidated when there is market manipulation and imbalances in the market, right? So it may be yes, and the yes may depend on the manipulation that happens on a particular trade. But if not, hedge may be the best decision in terms of securing yourself in profit making. Yeah. Does this explain why sometimes when you have more than one trade running and one is doing badly, all of a sudden all the trades starts doing badly, even if in isolated? No, unisolated, each trade is on its own. Unisolated, each trade is on its own, right? So unless it's on cross, if it's on cross, it may be a different thing, right? If it's on cross, it may be what? It may be a different thing. But on isolated or isolated margin, if one trade misbehave, it doesn't affect the other trade. Sure. Okay, so I guess I've been able to answer some of the questions, or I've been able to answer your questions, and I'm seeing no. Okay, that is sharing my screen, right? All right, so guys, we will end here. If God permit, tomorrow we will meet again. We will end here. If God permit, tomorrow we will meet again. So let's get prepared. Let's face the markets. You can trade on the spot market, you can trade on the futures market, and most importantly, if you have good capital, trade on both markets. Trade on the spot market, trade on the futures market, make profits. And in a study of, I think, go to YouTube, last week Thursday or last 2 weeks, we had one of the sessions that I talk about capital management, especially when it comes to trading. And with that, I talk about how you can add funds to invest your money in crypto by trading on the futures market, and then also the money or the profit that you gain, you'll be able to add part of that profit to your trading capital, and then also add part of it as a form of investment into different utility tokens. So you can watch that video too and learn from it to build up your trading knowledge so far as your money is concerned. So can you explain in clear terms the meaning of overtrading? Do you mean trading one coin, taking your profits and looking for another coin or token to trade? Yes. So it's always good. Listen, genuinely, if you have one trade in the market, you allow that trade to be sold before you jump onto another trade. But some of you, because that trade is being delayed in the market, you will still go for another trade, then that one will stack, then you go for another trade. Only one person, you'll be trading 5 or 6 or 10 different assets, right? And when that happens, it's called overtrading. Now that is a part of overtrading. And then another part of overtrading is that you've hit a target today. Maybe you've made a particular profit today. Instead of you to end your day, you continue to trade. That one too is overtrading. That one too is what is overtrading. In a case where maybe you've made a particular profit, and you still think, oh, the market is good, let me continue trading. That one too is overtrading. Yes, so overtrading comes in maybe 2 or 3 forms. First, knowing when to exit the market, and then secondly, avoiding excess assets or tokens in the market. Yes. All right. So which minimum amount describes good capital? The good capital is relative, though. Good capital is relative. Maybe $500, $1,000, $2,000, $9,000. Yeah. So good capital is relative to the trader, but at least a minimum of $500. It may not be bad. Yeah. So please, I need more understand about tokens. Which tokens are utility and others? And I guess you have to go back to YouTube and watch our tutorials. We did that lesson this morning. Those who joined this morning session, hope you learned from that. We talk about utility tokens, chain coins, and then also tokens. Didn't we do that this morning? Didn't we do that? All right. Now let me see, please. I need more. Okay. So hi, how confirm is the robot for person don't have trading experience? I'm not getting your question. Okay, how confident is the robot for person who don't have training experience to use? Now, in trading, if you don't have any knowledge in trading, you can't even trade, right? But then the fact is that the bot makes trading to be user friendly. When you say user friendly, that is another way, easy to use. Okay, so it's even easy to use as compared to thinking of trading in general, right? So if you think of being a trader, you can never neglect training and talk about trading. Then always your money will be dumped to the market for you to learn in a harder way or in a hard way, right? So that is it. Now, how do I adjust leverage in Bybit so I can trade with 5x in Royal Q? How do I adjust? So on Bybit, if you want to adjust your leverage, first do your calculation in Royal Q, and then also for now I don't have any trade in Bybit, so I'll do a short video on that. Let me do a short video on that. I think that one will be, I don't have any trade on Bybit. So all right, I guess all questions are sorted out except with the person talking about the Bybit. Mostly I've talked about that, and I'll get the YouTube link for you. I have to get the YouTube link so that you watch that video. If trading one coin gets a goal, is it necessary isolate the coin? I'm not getting your question. Sometimes the price those not moved and the market becomes low, what happens? Sometimes the price does not move and the market becomes low. What happens? Yes. Are you talking about utility tokens? If you're talking about the utility tokens, then I will say yes. Then you should also understand that in trading, patience also matters a lot. Yes, of course. Listen, the fact about the trading is that if you have more capital, no one is saying don't trade multiple assets. But even with that one, discipline should matters a lot. Matters of discipline should be in, and you should know when not to trade plenty coins. The fact that you have more money doesn't mean trade plenty coins. Hmm? The fact that you have more money doesn't mean trade many coins or plenty coins. No. All right. So if trading one coin at a go, yes, of course, if you have $500, you should earn at least $5 every day. You should earn $5 every day. Yeah. If you have $500, you should earn $5 every day. It's possible and more than possible. All right. So sometimes the price does not. Okay, I guess I've read that. Okay, so guys, I believe I've answered your questions. Have I been able to answer all your questions? All right. So, okay, now before we end this session, this announcement goes to those in Ghana. Now, if God permit, 27th of September. If God permit, 27th of September, our conference is coming on live at Accra, East Legon. Accra, East Legon, McLean Hotel to be precise. McLean Hotel, and it's going to be massive. It's going to be massive. Please, we've dropped the details on the platform, on the various platform. Go through, register, get the link, and then also register. If you know you will make it, register so that your name can be added to the participant list. Right? Mind you, it's first come, first serve. So register and be part of the participants. Right? Register and be part of the participants. And over there, it's going to be live trading. We are going to trade. We are all going to learn together as we are doing on Zoom now. It's not going to be Zoom. We are going to meet face to face. We learn, we talk about technical analysis. We all analyze the market together. Where you don't understand, we ask questions. We all do it together. We all do live trading together. How is it going to be? How is it going to be? It's going to be awesome, right? It's going to be awesome. So don't miss it. If you're in Ghana, react for me to know. React for me to know if you're going to be present. React for me to know if you're going to be present. Yes, so guys, I guess that is all for this evening. So let's all go in peace. Let's all go in peace. It's late and we have to rest, right? We have to rest. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, well, I wish I was in Ghana. I'll be in Ghana. All right. That is awesome. So, definitely, it's not only going to be in Ghana alone, and we are coming in a bigger way. We are coming in a bigger way. We are coming in a bigger way, and we will ensure that progress will be made across the globe. Progress will be made across the globe. If God permits, we will do. If God permits, we will do. Yes, if God permits, we will do. All right, so guys, let me see this person. Okay, so someone saying, please come to Canada too. Yes, I said if God permits, we will do. All what we need is the strength. All what we need is strength and the grace to do more. And if God permits, we will do better. Right? So not only in Ghana, prepare. And if God permits, we are coming in a bigger way across the globe. We are coming in a bigger way. So all of you should get prepared. With time, we will be live in different locations, different countries, and everyone will feel the impact of trading with Royal Kill. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's end here. It's late. If God permits, tomorrow will still be another day, and we shall meet again. I wish you all the best to your trading journey. Have a sound sleep and love you all. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye, 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 Mr. Emmanuel. Bye, bye. Thank you so much.